Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity, and I hope you all had a fabulous weekend. Right, if you watched Friday's video, you will have seen the KSCRAFT haul, and there's quite a number of very nice dies. I was umming and ahhing about the cookie sheet and everything else, and then I started looking through all my digital papers, and I decided that today I was going to do this one. This is the acorn shaker. Now, I'm not sure, maybe some people might be a little bit flummoxed by this, especially if they don't like acorns, so I thought we'd turn this into a card, and then everything will become clearer. And also using the autumn die, I hope I'm not all blurred, weather's not very good, from this little banner set. So you get different words in here: turkey, pie, gather, fall and autumn. So we're using the autumn one. And while I'm remembering, I also did the swaggy banners, which are these. There's two sets of banners for this seasonal set, and I did the pies, I did the leaves. So I've got everything tangled together. I was trying to be tidy. I've done the leaves, and I've also done the acorns, and I'm going to put those off to one side because we're going to be using those. And basically I just cut them out so that I can use them. So I did them all. There's the little turkeys. I just think they're so sweet. So we've got turkeys, pies, we've got the little chef's hat, really cute. We've got the little oven mitts, and I used little scraps of paper to get those little stripy oven mitts. We've got our cupcakes, and we've got the little aprons, and I used the little plaid sections, which are a bit like the little oven gloves. So we've got our little aprons. So I did cut out both of the banner sets that I received. So the acorns and the leaves are over there because I want to use those, but we're going to be using those in the week, so I'm just popping those off to one side. Right, so let's turn that acorn into a card. So first of all, you do get a larger one of these. That's if you want to turn it into a shaker. But I want a card, so I'm going a little bit smaller, and I've cut two. Now, you know what I like to do? I like to score across, you know, a kind of defining line, and then glue that panel. So I'm just going to grab my scoreboard and I'll be back. Right, so I've got my little scoreboard here, and I want to score kind of in this area. Now, this is not perfectly squared up, if you know what I mean. So what you need to do is line it top and bottom to get the straightest edge that you possibly can. And if I look at going across there, it's going to go there. So what I need to do is adjust it and then see what that looks like. I'm not actually scoring anything at the moment, and I'm going to go below it. So that's where I'm scoring. So all of my glue is going to go above my score line. So I just dropped my poke tool on the floor. So let's move that out of the way now. And I've got my glue. So I'm going to put all of my glue here and along that line, and we're going to take our other one and we're going to pop it directly on top. Just make sure they're even and everything is lined up, and give that a good squeeze. I like to flip it over, and then make sure that you lift that area up and bend it. And then that becomes your opening flap on your card. And then of course you want to test to see that it stands up. There's a little rock in there, but it does steady itself. And the only reason why you get a little bit of a rock is because there's just a little bit of a curve there, but that's not a problem. So we've got all of our glue down and set into there, which is lovely. So that's that piece. Right, your next piece is a layering piece, so you get a smaller version of this. And what I did was I used Vicky Boutan's Fernwood digital pack, and I printed off that sheet. And what I did, you'll see you've got your stem for your acorn. I cropped mine off so that I could have a brown stem. So I need to just layer that piece into there now. So more glue again. This is a really quick card. I mean, you know, once you've got your little elements made and around you, it's really fast. And I am using the Fernwood pack for basically everything that I'm doing. So I just want to make sure that there's a good even edge around everything. So I'm going to go there, because it's not a perfect shape, if you know what I mean. It's got its natural wibbles and wobbles. So now we've got that on there, and that should open like that. And then for this piece, this is your top layering piece for your acorn, and I decided that I didn't want to see my pattern through it. So I had a little scrap of orange, which I tried to match up with the leaves, and I just cut that out using the top of the die, and then just trimmed off the other pieces. So I'm going to glue this down onto here, and I'm just going to go around the edge. You don't have to do all of that, you know, trellis. Just get some glue down on your edge. And then just to make sure that you don't buckle up, just go along a little bit like that. Because sometimes when you've got sort of like cutaway parts that don't have a central fixing point, you can find one piece lifting up from the other. So now we need to get this onto here, and then I just want to slide it across and make sure everything's hidden. If I can do that. So now we've got a nice orange base, and if you've got any little bits sticking out, which I probably have, I'm just going to, where did I just put those? Oh, honestly, I lose everything so quickly. Here, my scissors. Can you see I've got a little bit of orange hanging out? This bit along here doesn't bother me so much, but I don't want that little bit on the corner. So I'm just going to very gently go underneath and trim that off. There. And then this can pop onto here as this layer. So we've got some nice colour going on. I like that. It does look like autumn to me. So now we need to glue that one into position. And just the same before, just go around your edge. And something to hold yourself down in the middle, and then this will layer up onto your patterns piece. Let's have a look here. Let's just move that up. There we go. So now we've got a lovely orangey top to our acorn. Now I do want my swags on here, which means I'm going to be trimming some bits off. So I kind of want those leaves, so I'm going to be trimming that one off, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be trimming an acorn off as well, because I kind of want them overlapping so that there's, you know, quite a little bit of texture and whatnot's going on. So I'm going to be taking off, let's have a look, the angle that I'm going. I'm going to take this one off to here, and if that stringy bit is too much, then I can cut a bit off. And then I'm going to cut off the leaf right up to its edge there. So I've got a spare leaf and a spare acorn if I want it. Right, so I'm going to glue those down. Just blob there and a bit up there. I'm just going to pick that up gently and kind of position it where I want it. Right, so there's our leaf bit, and now I'm going in with my acorns. Grab that up. I've got to think about what I'm doing here. Right, so I can see that I am kind of like over the edge there, so I'm going to trim that bit off. But we've got our leaves and we've got our acorn layer right up on the top there, and I will pick that up so that you can have a look. See how I've got my little bit of overhang and overhang, so I'm just going to get rid of that. And I've got a tiny little bit here. So we've got our lovely swag going off there, and of course we've got a couple of little acorns in the pattern of the paper, and just wanting to tie all those colours together. Now this is where it starts to get fun, because from the Vicky Bhutan set, here's the autumn words that I did, by the way. So that's my autumn word. I cut the garden gnome. Now this garden gnome, if you can get a close up there, comes with a very tall hat. So what I did was trimmed it down to the height that I wanted it, and I inked all around the edges, and I've put a piece of Dollar Tree foam on the back. So that's what I did with that element that comes with that pack. And I also cut a mushroom, but I want to glue the mushroom, but I only want a little bit of the mushroom, so I'm going to be cutting off quite a bit of it. So I'm just going to pop some glue down on the mushroom first, because I'm pretty sure that if I was to put it, you know, even within the image like that, it's going to, oh, I don't know, I could do that. I was worried about the idea of the mushroom being lost, if you know what I mean, and it being too buried, but as long as it sits within the edge, yeah, I'll go for gluing it there right on the edge. So if you've never been to AC Digitals, which is American Crafts Digitals, just go and check out the amount of paper that they've got. It's absolutely astonishing. There's like a paper pack for everything. And of course, as you know, I also like to use Snap Click Supply, and also Creative Fabrica can have some really nice stuff. So there's our mushroom gone on there, and then I'm just capping off my glue. I've already put some foam down on Mr. Gnome here, and I kind of like want him, I don't necessarily want him dead center, so I'm going to go there with Mr. Gnome. Let's lift that up. I mean, we've got loads of layers going on there. It's just terrible, my light today. I'm going to try and get a good photo for the front of the image, but isn't he great? Love that. Love that mushroom. Now the idea for my autumn is that Mr. Gnome is kind of going to be holding it. He was either going to be holding it or I was going to put it up there. It was one or the other. I still can't make my mind up. I don't really want it going through his hat, bless him. So I think I'm going to have it there. Yeah. Make him look like he's holding it. So I think I'm going to put some foam on the back of it. So I'm just going to crop down a strip of this. and chop that in half. So that it's slightly elevated above his body. I'm just going to go with that. And while I'm chattering away to myself, I hope everyone's going to have a great day today. I always do. So there we've got our autumn, and I'm wondering, my little spare leaves, what I could do with those, or my little acorn. Could he have a little leaf on his hat? Yeah, I think he could. So I'm going to crop that bit off. It's going to go behind it. And it looked like he's got a little feather in his cap. Just a little bit of glue on there. Yeah, I'll pick that up and do it properly. Let's get rid of that bit. Just to tie it in to what's going on above him. I really love that. Isn't that great, autumn cards? That was so quick. It really was. Now I know I've got a spare acorn and I'm sure I could put that somewhere, but I'm going to leave it on my desk because I might use it somewhere else. Now the big tell is, will it stand up? And you know it's going to stand up. Yeah. Let's see if we can get close now. Oh, that's better. I think it's because he's got a lot of white in his beard. He's just kind of like glaring. But I think that's great. I love that. But a great way to use your acorn die. Autumn. Yay. Wonderful. And if you wanted to mellow that out a bit, and I probably would actually, I would go in with some gold. Yeah, you know, my sparkle pen. Of course, you're supposed to do things like this right at the very beginning, but sometimes, you know, you see things and it's an afterthought. So I am putting some gold sparkle into my autumn, because I just think that's going to finish that off nicely. And then you can still see the orange coming through. But it just makes it look a little bit more special when you've got a bit of sparkle. And I don't know whether you can see that or not, so there you go. A little bit of sparkle in the autumn. Right, I thank you so much for joining me today. Do have an absolutely awesome day, and as usual, all links below. Bye.